right, we got the Model 3 here today, 2023 LFP pack. And we're out here on the beautiful, mighty Niagara, Grand Island, New York. That's the West River right behind me. And Niagara Falls is right back there, about 3 miles. Beautiful day. A little breezy, so I hope you can hear me okay. We've got the LFP here, 58 kilowatt hour battery. It's a 2023, a little over 12,000 miles. Doing a couple things today. Just got the update for FSD, just got that software update. It's a free 30-day trial or something like that. So we're gonna try that out. And one other thing I wanna do, there's a new supercharger in our area, and it's supposed to be the version 4 post. So we're gonna try that, go over there and see what that looks like, because I haven't been out that way yet. And that's about it for this little intro here. Car's in pretty decent shape. Not perfect, but great car, super efficient for running around. And gonna be pretty neat to try the FSD. I've tried FSD a couple of times on some demo rides, but this is the first time that this car got it. By the way, this car is a 2023 and it still has the, I think it's one of the last years with the hardware 3 cameras. Basically all the hardware is hardware 3. So the full self-driving supposedly works better on hardware 4, which is the newer vehicles. But on this one here, hardware 3, I've seen and read that it works pretty good. So we're gonna find out in a minute here. The beautiful, mighty Niagara right behind me. And the sun was out about 5 minutes ago. You can see the sky is very partly cloudy, partly sunny. So this is what we're looking at. Model 3, beautiful day. 12,784 miles. That's the mileage right now on the odometer. Anyways, what I wanted to get into was this. I wanted to do some videoing on the new software update. So we got the actual Smart Summon and the demo version of the full self-driving. Okay, so let's see if we can find where those new superchargers are. I believe they are in West Seneca. Yeah, that's it. So here's my area here for superchargers. Can we get it north up here? Yeah, here's north up. Okay, let's zoom out. So here's Grand Island, here's Niagara Falls. These two, this is out near Eastern Hills Mall, and this is right on Walden, right near the Walden Galleria Mall. That's the most popular one. That's a 250. This is an older 150. This new one, this is brand new right here, and it is a 250, and this should be interesting. See how scary this is. So I'll set up the camera here and let's check it out. All right, I'm gonna back out manually. Maybe I have to start driving to get FSD to go. All right, I am just going to start creeping along here. Okay, there we go. Be attentive, keep your hands on the wheel. Be prepared to take over. Preconditioning, please pay attention to the road. Okay, it's already driving faster than I would be driving. Okay, it's putting the signal on. This is a little tricky to get out of here.
Left onto Fix Road.
It's a little, you've got a bike path here. Yep, and there is a bike. Wow, interesting. It stopped. Wow, that's aggressive.
Now turn right onto Fix Road.
Okay. Good. Let's see what it does up here. Okay, so it put the signal on, it went over to the left lane. This is crazy. This is the first time I've actually let FSD drive for a significant amount of time. I tried it on a demo the other day a couple of times, and I personally don't really love it because I like to drive, and I like to kind of drive the way I like to drive. I drive pretty aggressive, especially on the highways, and I really like to do it myself. I want to be in control. So I probably wouldn't use this very much. Now here's a blinking yellow light. Let's see what it's going to do here. Yeah, I probably wouldn't use this very much, but I would like to have this kind of as a backup, especially if you're doing like a road trip, because I know there's lots of times where I do get tired and I won't fall asleep, but I will I might nod off a little bit here and there. So that's where I think it would be very handy. If you're driving many hours and you're getting tired, and it's just kind of like helping you out, more or less, to take that fatigue away before you may want to stop for the night. All right, it's a left exit here, left on ramp. This is a tough spot here. I probably am going to have to take over because you have to really accelerate if cars are coming, because there's not a big merge lane on the bridge. We're going to be going over the Grand Island Bridge here. We're getting off of Grand Island and going back toward Buffalo now. Okay, well, there's nobody coming here, so that's going to help a lot. All right. Okay, well, that sucks. My phone rang and it cut the video off. So the most exciting part, when the car kind of did some really quirky things, my phone rang. Damn it. Anyways, missed that. But as you can see, we're still on the Grand Island Bridge. It's doing okay here. And I see it's running about 58 mile an hour. Not sure if you can adjust the speed. Let's see if I can. Okay, good. Yeah, I could turn the speed up. So I just turned the roller. I just turned the right roller wheel up a little bit, and it turned my speed up to 60. So I guess that's nice that you can adjust your speed with the roll wheel, scroll wheel, whatever you want to call it, on the right. All right, I don't know if you can see these signs up here, but we're heading toward Buffalo, and the angle of the camera is not the greatest.
Now keep left to stay on Interstate 190 South.
Yeah, no hands on the wheel so far. I'll let you know if I grab it. It does seem to do well once you're on the highway, which is really where you want to use it. The difference between autopilot, which this car has had all along, and full self-driving is basically comes down to the lane changes. So with this, it should lane change. I suppose if I speed up a little bit, let me get the speed up a little more. Let's see if we can get it to do a lane change. That guy in the truck is going pretty good clip. I'll crank it up to 65. And this is a 55 zone. Got it set at 65 now. If we catch this truck, I'm thinking it'll do a pass, but I do have a bus coming up on my left, so I don't think it'll do the lane change because it's probably watching for this truck in my blind spot on my left. Yeah, this bus, he's right here now. I guess it doesn't show the bus yet. It's probably down here somewhere. Yeah, I can feel the car slowing a little bit now. Yeah, there's the bus right here. You can see it on the screen. So there it goes. Now, let's see if it'll do a lane change now. Nope, because there's another car coming. You'll see it on the screen in a minute. All right, Hopefully this guy will go past me. Okay, now let's see if it'll do a lane change. I'll speed up a little more. 66, 67. I don't think I have it set for aggressive lane changes. I think I have it set kind of low on the lane change setting. So that could be why. Let's see if I can go in there and lane change notification vibrate, minimal lane change. No, I have that turned off. Okay, well, let's go to average. Let's see if that makes it change a lane. Maybe I don't have enough speed to pass. Let me crank it up one more. Come on, baby. 69. Maybe 69 will be the there we go. Automatic lane change. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. It does a nice job at centering in the lanes so far. Okay, now it's got the right signal on and pulling back into the driver lane. Nice. That was good. Let's see when this next guy passes me if it'll go for the change. There we go. Ooh, we got more traffic coming. Okay. That's pretty aggressive. That's good. That's the way I would drive. It's a little aggressive, but pretty damn good for all the traffic around us. Coming into Buffalo area now, we got the Mighty Niagara on our right here, and we gonna have the Peace Bridge coming up. All right, now I was just gonna say we got a car coming up behind me faster, so the Tesla chose to get off to the right and get back in the driving lane, so this Bronco can pass on the left. I believe that's a Bronco. There's a Peace Bridge right there. I don't think you can see it on the camera, but you might be able to. Yeah, there goes the Bronco. Looks like a base model. Now, is it gonna pass this bus? Probably. Come on, baby. There we go. Now that the bus slowed down a little bit, she's gonna pass. Go Tesla, FSD. You go, girl. Man, not too bad. All right. Let me get my hands near the wheel here. Haven't had to touch it so far. Still going. All right, so we are navigating down to the supercharger, the new supercharger. And it's going to be interesting to see if that has version 4. I'm assuming they have to have V4 or version 4 posts when they put new superchargers in. I don't know the last time, how many years it's been or months it's been. Oh, no, that was weird. Started slowing down since they put in version 3 posts. I personally haven't seen a version 4 post yet, so I'm kind of anxious to see if that's what they put in. I'm assuming that's what they put in. The interesting thing about superchargers that many of you may not know is they're actually made here in Buffalo at the Giga factory in Buffalo. I think that's one of the main objectives that is done here in the Buffalo Tesla Gigafactory is the superchargers, and they build them on those big platforms where there's 2 or 3 or 4 of them all built as a unit, and then they just drop right in. Pretty cool setup. And it's actually the new South Buffalo Tesla dealer. Man, it's doing its thing. The new Tesla dealer is right across the road on South Park Ave from the Gigafactory in Buffalo. I've done some videos on that. You can go back a couple of videos and you will see those demo drives that I did. But it's doing good here. I've never been to the supercharger where we're navigating to. Wow, okay. Braking a little bit there. A little bit wimpy there. This guy came out of the lane just a hair and kind of tapped on the brakes here a little bit. The Tesla did, and of course the guy behind me didn't love that. But we're back on the accelerator now. Yeah, I was gonna say we should get over because this guy's coming up behind me pretty hard. Come on, Tesla, get the hell over. I don't know why it signaled and then it don't get over and then the guy behind me gets pissed. Yeah, that wasn't good. All right, finally. Could have got over twice. It put the signal on, then it turned it off. Then it put the signal on, then it turned it off. And, you know, that wasn't horrible, but because there was a guy right behind me wanting to pass, kind of probably pissed him off. And the Honda CR-V, let me back it down a couple of miles an hour so he can pass, because he's not loving the way I'm driving. And he doesn't know I'm not driving, so it's FSD. Oh no, that ain't good. I had to grab it there because it put the signal on, and this guy's in my left. I mean, he was right there, and now they're looking at me. Yeah, that wasn't good because first of all, the guy's right behind me for a while, and then I finally move out of his way into the right lane. That's the CR-V up there, and then as soon as he's starting to pass me on the left, getting closer to passing me, the Tesla puts on the left turn signal again. And yeah, I mean, it probably wouldn't have changed lanes, but that guy was getting pissed, so I definitely grabbed the wheel and kind of aborted FSD. But I got it back on now. You know, it's not perfect, but hey, there is a lot of traffic around, and this road isn't easy to navigate. These are narrow lanes. There's a lot of curves through the city. Again, I wouldn't use FSD here normally. I would use it on the open highway, what I call the open highway on road trips, where, you know, where you would normally use cruise control in an older vehicle. That's where you would probably use FSD. Now it's got the right turn signal on. Okay, looks clear. And that's because we are going to get off soon. We are here at the new supercharger in West Seneca, and I'm going to just assume these are the version 4 because I've never seen stalls that look this nice. And they have a little screen on it too. I guess the screens don't work. And I don't know if they have a magic dock or not. Let's see. Yeah, they do. So there's the magic dock. That's pretty cool. Don't need that. And then it comes out without it. Well, let's get plugged in here. Version 4 posts. I believe they're still version 3 cabinets though. Version 3 cabinets and 8 posts. But you can see what they do. They build this whole thing in a cast. See, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's built on this cast concrete all at the factory, and it's brought on a flatbed truck. They just drop this whole thing in. I think this whole thing comes on a flatbed. And then there's another, this one would come on the flatbed as well. And then they just drop it in and wire it up. It's version 4 posts and version 3 cabinets. So what everybody's waiting for is the version 4 cabinets and the version 4 posts, because that's when they're gonna up the amperage. And basically what everybody's waiting for is that who has basically the Cybertruck, because then the Cybertruck will charge way faster, I think at like 350 kilowatt. And also cars on the EGMP platform from Hyundai, Kia, those will charge faster too, because right now those cars will not charge that fast on these. No reason hanging around any longer. Okay. Pretty nice chargers there. Alright. I'm gonna put the camera back up here. Alright. Yep, I had to hit the brakes there because it was almost gonna run into that guy. Not good, FSD. Alright, turned it back on.
Take exit 1252 on the left.
Yeah, it's pretty assertive when it gets on the highway. It really, now it's gonna have to get in the left lane here.
Now take exit 1252
Yeah,
on the
that's a
right.
tough one. Alright, good. Gotta go straight. Okay, that's okay. These roads are a little tough though, I have to admit. I don't think I would use this system for driving around town. It just seems a little crazy. And like I was saying, these cars are fun to drive. Like, I like to take off from light to light. Like, they accelerate fast. They're enjoyable. And the regenerative braking is so great you don't even have to use the brake pedal. So you get so used to driving these that you really enjoy it, because you just lift off the accelerator and it slows to a stop at the red lights, and then you press the accelerator to take off and you can fly. It's really fun. Whenever I get back in my truck, I always have to kind of recalculate, because first of all, you're in a truck. It's got no regenerative braking, so you let off the gas and it just coasts, and then you got to get on the brakes, and trucks just don't stop that great compared to small cars. So yeah, it's always fun getting in this car. It's just fun to fly around town. So like I just wouldn't use FSD for that. For this, I wouldn't probably even use it here either, because I would rather be driving much faster right now, which I know I can turn it up, which I think I will. Okay, 65. But this for me is more on the open road, like going to my cottage, going to Florida, going to New York City, really making road trips. And maybe if I was going to road trip it, I would subscribe for 1 month, but honestly, again, I have to say the autopilot, which comes with the car free, is so good. The only negative to it is it doesn't do the automatic lane changes. And when you do want to change lanes, you have to kind of like grab the wheel so it disengages autopilot, change lanes, and then once you get back, you have to kind of reinitiate it. So, which isn't that hard to do, but I've heard that the guys at Enhance Auto with their sexy buttons have a setting where you can use autopilot only, and it will sorry, I'm turning it off here. I'm taking over because this is a tough spot here, even when you're driving. Your best bet is to fly up here in the left lane, like I'm doing right now, and go right to the last minute, and then you get over. And autopilot wouldn't know that. It's just a trick for the traffic here. And then you kind of ease your way over, and you can see how much easier it is up here instead of doing it way back there. So now I'm driving myself. But yeah, Enhance Auto has a cool setting when you buy their sexy buttons, which is probably one of the first accessories I'll buy, because there's so many things you can do. And I believe how it works is you can use regular autopilot, and you can initiate your lane change with your turn signal, and I believe it turns autopilot off. You make your lane change, and then when you get back in your lane, it will turn autopilot back on, all through the sexy button setting. I believe that's how it works, and that's something that I'd be really interested in. Not to mention the cool drift mode, where you can put all the power to the rear tires on like an all-wheel drive. Because you know, the only way you get that type of a setting is if you buy a performance, and then you get the track mode. But yeah, that's just something that going forward I really want to get a performance, and it's probably going to be the new Model Y Juniper. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, I'm supposed to get off here, damn it. Let's see if I can squeeze over. And
now take exit 7.
I can. I was talking too much and not thinking about where I'm going. I'm not going to my house. I'm going to get a pizza. Going to one of the OG of Buffalo Pizza, Bocce's. Bocce's on Bailey. They are the original. Not to mention, not to leave out Lenova, because Lenova is one of my favorites. But Bocce's also one of my favorites. And they had a coupon, so that's the deal for today.
Turn left.
500 feet, it's going to turn.
Destination.
I don't know if it's going to go into the park. Here it is, Bocce's Pizza. Let's see what it's going to do. Okay, good. It turned the turn signal on early enough. And there are quite a few cars in the parking lot. Not too many. Let's see what it does.
You have arrived at your destination.
Come on,
now
baby.
Turn left.
Go, 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 go. Yeah, it's going to go. Okay. Nice. Now, is it going to...
Now you have arrived at your destination.
Okay, so it's not going to park. It's going to... I'm going to grab it. It's going to let me park it. Yeah, nothing like a Bocce's Pizza. One of the originals in Buffalo. And man, it is good. Yes. So, this is interesting. So I'm not navigating anywhere right now. But I turn FSD on. So is it going to just keep driving straight? I guess. Because if you don't navigate somewhere, I guess it just stays on the same road. Pretty interesting. I never even thought about that. There's an Ioniq 5 on the other side there. Right at the other stop sign there. Okay, go. There you go. I really like those. Seeing more and more of those around. Oh, this is interesting. Wow. We got construction. The car doesn't know what to do. It has no clue. Okay, I had to turn it off. I'm gonna go left. I'm gonna go into the parking lot. So there's a one-way, there's a light there in construction, and when it goes green, you there's only one lane. I'm not so sure the Tesla FSD would have handled that very well. So I decided to pull in here. I was just in here, Lowe's, just a couple of days ago, so I'll go out the other way here. I find it interesting that there are 2025s now being sold that are not the Juniper. And the way you know that is if you look at it, if you just go on to order, those are 2025s. But if you go to the inventory, you'll find the cheapest cars and they'll say 2024 next to them. But if you scroll down further, the cars will have no discounts on them, but they won't say 2024 next to them. So those are 2025s. And there was a post saying that the VIN number will have a different designation in one of the letters to kind of differentiate the 2025. But it's not the Juniper. It's the same car. Oh, there's a black Model Y Performance. Nice. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Man, I love those performance wheels. Uber turbines, they're so nice. Yeah, so I find it interesting that there is 2025s in inventory, or if you order right now, you're going to order a 2025. I find that interesting because I think everybody just assumed that the 2025 Model Y was going to be the Juniper. I assumed that. But it looks to me like there's going to be 2025 non-Junipers that are going to be, basically you can order them right now, and then the Juniper is going to come out, I assumed, in January. Maybe not. Maybe it'll be a little later. Maybe it'll come in China first, like the Model 3 did when they did the refresh. So it's a tricky one to see what Tesla's doing. Now, I've also been watching the inventory numbers go down because they're selling so many Model Ys because of the deals. And it makes me wonder if they are literally going to sell out all the 2024s, all the ones that are discounted. And if that's true, that could very well be happening now, like maybe during November, early November, and then the 2025s will be the only car available, and maybe those will begin to be discounted as far as inventory, and then the Juniper will come out, and that will be also obviously a 2025, but it'll be the Juniper refresh 2025. It would have been a lot simpler for Tesla just to make the 2025 the Juniper. I mean, because there's gonna be people that own 2025 Model Ys that are not Junipers, unless Tesla's gonna push it all the way to 2026. But I don't see that happening because they're already being built on an assembly line in China right now, and I saw a spy photo of a truckload of them that they're all covered, so you couldn't actually see the new front end or the new rear end with the new light bar. What we assume is going to be the new front end and the new rear end light bar, but they are being made. Just a few, very slowly, in Shanghai right now. That's at least what the word is right now. So if they're making them right now, and I would assume that January they're going to be probably for sale to the public in China, the new Juniper, and possibly in the US here, not that much further beyond January. I'm hoping that it's by February, January, February, March, being sold here. And then, because for me, I'm waiting for the performance Junipers, and that's going to be like, who knows, June, July. But yeah, I just like driving this car. I mean, you just touch the accelerator and it just goes. It's just fun. And so to me, I'll stick with the autopilot. It's free. You really can't beat the base Model 3 for the money and what you get, especially in the refresh, because in the refresh now you're getting a much quieter car, a much better suspension, and you're getting cooled seats. So the only really negative in the base new Model 3 refresh is the stereo is just not so great. I mean, it's okay. I would say it's good compared to some other cars' stereos, but when you compare the stereo to the all-wheel drive or the performance Model 3 refresh, that stereo is just so good that it's hard to go back to the basic stereo. I want to say there's 6 maybe 9 speakers in this bass stereo, but I believe there's no subwoofer and there's no amplifier. So it's just doesn't have the balls, you know, and it doesn't have the punch. But when you get the all-wheel drive refresh or the performance refresh, that system cranks. And we demoed that car, and I really wanted to play with the stereo, and I was really impressed that you can crank the volume all the way to the top and there's no distortion, and the bottom end punch is still there all the way up to the top volume levels. That's pretty rare. You know, in most cars, even with good subwoofers and a lot of wattage, you still are going to start getting some distortion when you get that volume level cranked way up to the top. But it was pretty damn good. So that for me is one reason to go away from the base model and go to the all-wheel drive. And if you're a Model 3 person, you don't lose much range. Remember, the latest out-of-spec 70-mile-an-hour tests were 270 miles on the all-wheel drive refresh Model 3 at 70 mile an hour constant versus 286 miles on the same test for the rear wheel drive. So you're only giving up, what is that, 16 miles in range to step up to the all-wheel drive. And with the all-wheel drive, sure, it's a little more money. I don't think it's that much more money, but it's a little more. But you're getting much more performance. It goes from like a 4.9 to a 4.2, 0 to 60. So it's much snappier. You don't lose much in range, but you gain the power. And obviously, if you live up north and you drive in any type of weather with snow, it's gonna pay for itself. You're gonna really want to have that all-wheel drive. And like I said, the stereo system, and there's a couple other small things on the interior differences, but the stereo is the main thing. I think the door panels are a little bit nicer, if I recall, on the all-wheel drive. But yeah, I think, can I squeeze through? Yeah, I can. Yeah, this is nice right here, this car. And this is, I get out in the country a little bit more, going to my house. And this is where this car is nice. But, you know, it's all depends what you want, what you need, how much you want to spend. I really don't need the performance, and I really don't want to spend that much money, but for the money, for the performance you get, it's hard to beat that car. I mean, there wasn't too long ago that there was only a handful of cars that could actually do 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds. And even under 4 seconds wasn't that long ago. You had to get into supercar territory. You had to get into $250,000 vehicles. Now you can buy a car, Model 3 Performance, right now today, 0 to 60 2.9. That's just crazy fast. And after incentives, what, $47,000, $48,000, so it's 55-ish minus $7,500 federal. You get another $500 here in New York, so you're getting $8,000 off. So $8,000 off of 55. So what is that, 47? I think. So, I mean, that's crazy. 47K, and then you throw in a really good financing, 0% financing, 1.99 financing. That's hard to beat, to have a car that is that quick and that efficient. Even the performance is super efficient, especially if you throw on some 18-inch wheels and some all-season tires. So yeah, that's a tough one to not just go for the performance. But the all-wheel drive really probably is the sweet spot because you're getting good range. It's cheaper, and it's probably why so many people buy the all-wheel drive long range. But now they have that rear-wheel drive long range, especially in the Model 3. Wow, that car is incredible. And if you live anywhere down south, that's the car. You really don't need the all-wheel drive, although I do like the power of the all-wheel drive. All right, guys, I'm just blabbering on now, so we're gonna wrap it up here. Gonna be pulling in the house here, gonna eat my pizza finally. But that was a pretty good day of doing some testing of the FSD, and I'm gonna do a little short video on some of the Smart Summon features. That'll be fun to try, and I'll probably do a separate video on that. And that's it. That's it for today, guys. Leave some comments below. Let me know what you're thinking. Really like to hear from some of the guys who've owned Teslas for a while. And we'll see you on another one soon. Bye-bye.